Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the MLB slate on DraftKings for Thursday, May 31st. We have a 9-game slate tonight. We got 2 early games today, but I'm not going to cover that early slate just because it's a 2-game slate. We're just going to focus on the main slate, the 9 games for tonight. Before we do get started looking at this pitching slate, we got Kershaw on this slate making his return from the DL. He gets a matchup against the Phillies. Aaron Nola on the other side of that game. Definitely 2 pitchers we can consider paying up for. Plenty of mid-tier options as well. But like I said, before we get started looking at pitcher, make sure you guys drop a like on the video. I would really appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, make sure you click that subscribe button before you get out of here. That lets me know you enjoyed the video. It'll keep you updated with my videos if you do subscribe. But yeah, looking at pitcher today, Kershaw and Nola get a matchup against each other. Kershaw making his first start off the DL. I believe he was on like the 10-day DL. I think he missed. We'll go ahead and pull up the game log. Last time he pitched was about almost a month ago. He pitched May 1st. That was his last start against Arizona. Then he went on the DL. Haven't heard anything on a pitch count, whether Kershaw's going to be limited. If he is not limited, he is definitely my number 1 pitcher on this slate. 11,800 versus the Phillies. I do like this matchup. This Phillies team has some power, have some good bats in their lineup, but they also have a lot of strikeouts as well. We've seen this Phillies team really strike out a ton this year. Look at this lineup. From top to bottom, especially when you get towards the bottom, there are a lot of strikeouts with Kingery, Alfaro, Nola will strike out. Altair will strike out as well. Franco and Herrera have kind of cut down on the Ks, don't K as much. But still, when you're facing a pitcher like Kershaw, the Ks can really come no matter who he's going up against. Getting a lot of respect, even first start off the DL. The Phillies only have 2.9 implied run total today. The Dodgers on the other side only have 3.6. So you would imagine this is going to be a pitcher's duel. I'm not a big fan of Nola here. Maybe if you want to pivot off of Kershaw, I feel like Kershaw's probably going to be high owned today if he's not limited. He'll probably be the chalk. You could pivot to Nola, but on the road, Nola has not been as good this year. We'll go ahead and pull up the game log. Look at the splits. At home this year, he's averaged 27 DraftKings points. On the road, only averaged 15 DK points. Through 6 games at home, he has 45 strikeouts. Through 5 games on the road, only 22 strikeouts. He's just pitched better at home this year. He's been able to rack up more strikeouts at home. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of Nola today, but if you do want to go to him to get a pivot away from Kershaw, I could see doing that. Probably going to be low owned today. And then once you get down from Kershaw and Nola, it takes a big price decrease down to Jack Flaherty. And then just a lot of guys like in that price range, these mid-tier plays with Flaherty, McCullers, Newcomb, Roark, Odorizzi. A lot of these guys up top here in this mid-range have pretty tough matchups. Like McCullers has to face the Red Sox. On the other side of that game, Drew Pomeranz has to face the Astros. That's a tough matchup. Newcomb has to face the Nationals. I'm not very high on that matchup. Roark gets a Braves team that doesn't strike out a ton, that makes contact. Good hitters park as well in Atlanta. So a lot of these top-tier, mid-tier options I'm not very interested in. I like Jose Quintana down here in this mid-range at 7,500 versus the Mets. I think this is a good matchup. Quintana will be pitching on the road in Citi Field, the Mets Stadium. Pretty good pitcher's park. I think Quintana is a good play here. This is a Mets team that I think is not very good versus left-handed pitching. Much better versus righties, I feel like. Because guys like Nimmo, Cabrera, Conforto, Bruce, all those guys will have the platoon split. But when you put a lefty on the mound, these guys aren't as good versus lefties. Cabrera will still have the platoon split because he's a switch hitter, but he is much better from his left side. Really the only bat I'm worried about here, it's not really that much. I mean, Bautista, I guess, but not really. Mesoraco has power, but he definitely strikes out a ton. Jose Reyes is not a good hitter. Doesn't strike out a lot, but just not a good hitter. Rosario, not a good hitter either, and will strike out a lot. So I like Quintana here. Mets only have a 3.6 implied run total for today. I think Quintana is the cash play at SP2. If you want to pair him with Kershaw, I think that makes a ton of sense. Still leaves you 38-37 remaining per player, which can be worked around today. So I kind of like building around Kershaw and Quintana as my 2 pitchers, especially for cash games. Then looking for other pitchers we could go to. There really isn't a lot I love, like under Quintana. Maybe Jordan Lyles, just because he's facing the Marlins, and the Marlins are so bad offensively. But Lyles is not a very good pitcher. On the other side of that game, Wei-Yin Chen gets a good matchup with the Padres, but Wei-Yin Chen also not a very good pitcher. I could see going to Wade LeBlanc today. If you're looking for a really cheap play, he's only 5,500. Gets a matchup against the Rangers, a Rangers team that has a lot of strikeouts in their lineup. Good pitcher's park as well for Wade LeBlanc. Pitching at home in Seattle, in Safeco, a very good pitcher's park. So I would say the one SB2 I do like besides Quintana, if you're looking for a cheap play, would be Wade LeBlanc down here at 5,500. But yeah, that's really it for pitcher for me today. Those are kind of the pitchers I'm on. Now let's talk about some bats. Look at some hitters at third base. There's a mid-tier play I like. I like the Astros here versus Pomeranz. So Alex Bregman at 4,100 is a play that I do like here. Bregman projected to bat second for the Astros, getting the platoon split versus the lefty. Bregman's been good versus lefties this year, been good versus lefties pretty much throughout his career. Astros do have one of the highest implied team totals on this slate, 5.4 runs. These guys are somewhat cheap as well. All of them are under 5K, which is something we usually don't see. You got value plays as well with Gurriel and J.D. Davis at 35, 3,600. Even like Correa, Altuve, 49, 4,700. Kind of cheap in my opinion for what we usually see these guys price. So I like the Astros here versus Pomeranz. Pomeranz has been so up and down this year, kind of inconsistent. And I think the Astros could really get to him. So I like Alex Bregman at third base, 4,100. Then at shortstop, another mid-tier play I like here is Didi Gregorius, 4,200 versus Cashner. I think this is a good spot for Didi Gregorius. Facing a righty in Camden Yards, a right-handed pitcher that I don't think is very good. I like the Yankees here as well. They have the highest implied total at 5.8 runs versus Cashner. I love the Yankees as a stack today. They got some value in their lineup now that they added Greg Bird. He gives you a value at first base with a $4,100 price tag. You got Gardner leading off at 4,200. Didi obviously projected bat 6 is 4,200. Even when you get towards the bottom of that lineup, Torres isn't very cheap anymore, but Miguel Andujar is still 4,200. Not as high on him, really on the lefties here with especially Gregorius, Gardner, and Bird. Those are kind of the values I like here. Stanton, Judge, if you can fit them in, sure, play them, but I'm really looking at the value lefties. I think the Yankees are in play here. Definitely my favorite stack on the slate by far. And I like Didi Gregorius at 4,200. I know he's been up and down this year, but I think this is a matchup where he can have some success, especially in that good hitters park in Baltimore. Then my final play in the outfield, getting some value. I do like the Padres. I think they could be a sneaky stack today. So Hunter Renfroe at 3,600 is a value play that I like here versus Wei Chen. Wei Chen just been so bad this year. Gave up so much power to righties. And Hunter Renfroe does have some power versus lefties. He's crushed lefties. The Padres could definitely be a sneaky stack you look to versus Chen. They've got some righties with power in their lineup. Mostly Villanueva and Hunter Renfroe are kind of the two guys I really like. If you want to play Perella, I think he's got really good BVP versus Wei Chen. He's 6 for 10, so he's hit Chen really well. He could be a value play at 3,300. At second base or outfield, you got Villanueva projected about third for 4,500 at third base if you wanted to play him over Bregman. And then Hunter Renfroe is a value play I like in the outfield. 3,600, like I said, Chen's just been so bad this year. It's not a good hitter's park in San Diego, but I still think these guys have enough power. And Chen's just been so bad this year, I don't really care about the ballpark. I'll take righties against him, just how bad he's looked. So these are my 5 plays for today. Clayton Kershaw, Jose Quintana, Alex Bregman, Didi Gregorius, and Hunter Renfroe. Now we'll go over some stacks and BVP plays for today before we do get out of here. Stacks for me, number 1 and 2, by far, the Yankees number 1, Astros number 2. Then if you need some value, I do like the Padres here versus Wei Chen. The righties I'm really looking to, Perella, Villanueva, Hunter Renfroe. Even Franmil Reyes, 2,800 of value play you could go to. But that's kind of it, like Galvis, AJ Ellis, Margot. Doubt I play those guys, mainly the 1, 3, 4, 5. Hosmer versus lefty on lefty, probably won't go there. But the 1, 3, 4, 5 I think makes a lot of sense from the Padres. And that's really it for stacks, for teams I'm kind of looking to target. Now we'll quickly go over some BVP plays on this main slate. We'll start at the top, kind of work our way down. Didi Gregorius has some decent BVP versus Cashner. 4 for 16 with the home run. Matt Carpenter, 4 for 10 with 2 home runs versus Trevor Williams. Tommy Pham has also hit Williams well, 3 for 10 with the home run. Inciarte and Markakis have both hit Tanner Roark well. Inciarte is 10 for 25 with the home run, and Nick Markakis 7 for 28 with 3 home runs. Michael Brantley is 4 for 12 with the home run versus Jake Odorizzi. Altuve and Marisnick have both hit Pomeranz well. Altuve 7 for 10 and Marisnick 4 for 12 with 2 home runs. Then 3 of these Padres have hit Chen well. Freddie Galvis 6 for 15. Eric Hosmer 7 for 23 with 2 home runs. And Perella, his BVP I mentioned earlier, 6 for 10. And then finally, Denard Span has gone 5 for 11 versus Mike Minor. Then moving on to pitchers, looking at the pitchers that have done well. Cashner has done well in the past versus the Yankees, but I still like the Yankees here. In the past, the Yankees have only hit him for a 209 average through 67 ABs. And also, Quintana has done well in that matchup versus the Mets. The Mets are only hitting him for a 224 average through 67 ABs. They only got 15 hits, only 2 home runs versus Quintana. And then the pitcher that has done poorly, the pitcher that has struggled, the Cardinals have hit Trevor Williams very well. Williams has struggled against the Cardinals. He's allowed a 393 average to them. They've gotten 24 hits and 61 ABs, 3 home runs out of those 24 hits. And I think that's it for pitchers. I think that's it for BVP and PVB. And I think that is it for the video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully it helped you. If you did enjoy, just make sure you click that like button before you get out of here. If you have not subscribed yet, make sure you do subscribe as well. And if you do have questions, you can always hit me up on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT, or feel free to leave a comment down below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. And good luck tonight on the slate, guys. Peace.